All right, guys, so before jumping to today's video, I just want to announce that I'm doing a shark card giveaway over on my Twitter. I'm giving away $1.25 million of GTA money. All you have to do is retweet and follow. I'll leave that link in the description so you can check it out. This will basically allow you to buy one complete MTL Dune, or if you wanted to go the route of combining the Contender and the Sprunk Buffalo, it'll pretty much cover all the costs for that. So I wanted to give back to you guys. Just wanted to let you know that's going on right now. So before we jump into this video, maybe go down in the description, check that out. But anyways, let's not waste any more time and let's get this video started. All right, so what I want to talk about today is some warnings and some issues and some buyer bewares that I have for the 3 brand new vehicles that were released today. So I'm not going to be issuing buyer bewares to any of the other content because like stunt races, the free Jock Cranley suit, like what can you issue a buyer beware on that? You really can't. Just don't buy it. In fact, it's free. The suit was free. The races are free. So there's really no buyer beware for that. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But let's talk about the vehicles. And I'm sure that's what everyone wants to discuss. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below as well. So let's start with the MTL Dune, the rally truck. Now, I had very high hopes for this vehicle. When I saw it, I was like, man, this is going to be so cool. And there's just some things that I'm slightly disappointed. Now, overall, I'm thoroughly impressed and I love all the content that Rockstar has added. And in today's video, like I said, I'm just going to touch on a few of the things that I have some slight issues with, but also warnings that I want to issue to you guys. So number one, right off the bat, it's obviously a Pegasus vehicle. Now, this is kind of a bummer for a few reasons. Number one, it means that we cannot use it in the stunt races, which I don't exactly get. Why would you introduce a car in a stunt race DLC if it wasn't going to be able to be used in the stunt races? So that's a real buzzkill that the MTL Dune is a Pegasus vehicle. I would have preferred Rockstar have made it smaller so that we could use it in the Pegasus vehicles, and maybe they would have put it in the off-road category. That could have been something that is really cool, but instead they decided to make it like nearly as big as the Brigade, which obviously is not going to be fitting in the garage. So I'm pretty sure they had to make it a Pegasus vehicle by default based off of its size. But also, number two, we can't customize the vehicle. I could see potential for a lot of cool customization, including changing up the colors to match some of the epic livery options like Globe Oil and Fukuru Rally, as well as upgrading just some of the other things. Like I can see netting on the side of the windows as well, maybe changing a little bit of the interior, some stuff on the roof, you know, maybe opening up the back hatch. There's a lot of potential here that Rockstar just didn't seem to tap into, and for that, I'll really never understand what they were thinking. So I'm very much confused on that end. And also, point number 3, I have no clue why the Fukuru Rally livery is more expensive than the Globe Oil one. I mean, they're both very similar liveries. Why would one be more expensive than the other? I mean, we've seen them do this in the past on other Pegasus vehicles, like one of those helicopters that has a different livery on there, but this one just seemed an odd choice to do that. So overall, it seems as if they've made this incredibly awesome vehicle, the MTL Dune, slightly worthless. Because as a Pegasus vehicle, it's kind of worthless. It doesn't have armor resistance. It doesn't have much of a bulletproof resistant windows. It does have the bulletproof tires, but it doesn't have the armor capability, and it also doesn't have the carrying capacity as well. The fact that you've got this massive giant truck and you can only fit 2 people on there is ridiculous. I mean, why couldn't we have room in the back? What is possibly going on in the back there that prevents us from storing either more people or having more cool things? I'm really not too sure there. And as a racing vehicle, they made it worthless because you can only use it in some off-road racing scenarios, but you can't even use it in the brand new stunt races, which I know a lot of people are going to be doing right now. So it is kind of unfortunate, and it's sad to see that that is turning out to be the fate of the MTL Dune, which is just kind of stuck in limbo, in no man's land. It's not really an effective Pegasus vehicle, and because it's a Pegasus vehicle, it can't compete as a stunt racing vehicle. So it's stuck in limbo. I feel bad for this vehicle because it's really cool. I think it's not a bad price either for what you're getting. They just seem to kind of locked it behind this wall and, you know, took away all the potential of this really cool vehicle. Okay, moving on, let's talk about the Sprunk Buffalo S. So I actually don't have many issues with the Sprunk Buffalo S. It is a beautiful looking car. It has unbelievable customization, which I think is something that's really great about the Buffalo in general. But this one, when you get all the different livery options and stuff like that, it really does make it look incredible. So as far as customization goes, the Sprunk Buffalo is a home home run. And for me, it wasn't a big of a deal because it was free. However, for many of you and for non-returning players, it's going to cost $500,000. $535,000 is pretty expensive. And when you compare that to the price of some of the other stock cars in the game, it seems to have been uppriced quite a bit compared to some of the other stock rally cars from the single player campaign. So I'm not sure why Rockstar is putting a premium on the Sprunk Buffalo S right there, but nonetheless, I'm still very happy to have it in the game. The only real issue and warning that I can give you guys is if you purchase this car, just know that it's not going to be one of the best sports cars in the game. I'm sure you guys already knew that and were well aware. The fact that it has 4 doors. We've been able to test the regular Buffalo S for a long time now, so this really shouldn't be any new information to us, but I just wanted to let you guys know that it is not a world killer. As we touched on earlier, it's like 22nd in the sports car category. So if you're looking for a vehicle to win races in, this is certainly not the one. Is it fun to use in the stunt races? Absolutely. I have a blast with the Sprunk Buffalo S in the new stunt races, but is this something you want to use in a competitive racing sense? No, there's just other quicker sports cars out there that you would be better served using. However, that's really the only issue that I can say that I have with the Bravado Sprunk Buffalo. I really like it. It's one of my favorite cars in the game, so I'm so glad that Rockstar decided to add it. Let's move on to our final vehicle today, which is the Vapid Contender. So there's not a whole lot to complain about the Vapid Contender. Really, the only thing I have to say is that it lacks customization. There's a few things I wish you could do, like changing some of the options, like taking off the lights and the brush guard up front, maybe doing some upgrades to the back and to the truck bed itself. Really, the only customization option you can do is removing kind of the cover of the roof in the back. So that's really it. But because this vehicle is the fastest SUV, I'm pretty sure you can overlook those customization deficiencies. And on top of it, it's only $250,000. Not expensive at all for becoming the fastest SUV in the game. Now, once again, I know SUVs are not the sexiest of categories in terms of racing and in terms of popularity that might be, but you're not going to be able to compete that well if someone else has a contender and you don't. So I've got to say there are absolutely no real big issues with the Vapid Contender. I would buy it. It's also got a lot of bulletproof capabilities that I think are pretty nice, especially on the windshield. The only glaring issue I see is that Rockstar haven't created any SUV-style stunt races, which means you won't be able to use this in any of the new stunt races unless someone creates one next Tuesday, August 2nd. So that's kind of strange, and that's kind of my big gripe with the cars that were added. 2 out of the 3 vehicles cannot be used in the stunt races. So I thought that was kind of a weird choice. Like, was the Vapid Contender just a leftover that they decided to throw in? I mean, it doesn't even have any racing liveries on there. So I was ultimately kind of confused by that, but at the same rate, still very impressed with what the Contender had to offer. And overall, everything from this update week so far has been, for the most part, pretty enjoyable. But anyways, that's really all the information I have to talk to you guys about today and all the warnings and issues that I'm going to be giving out. Basically, final verdict is I like the cars. There's just some deficiencies with a few of them that I wish Rockstar would have changed up, especially with the Dune. I think that is the biggest downfall of the Dune, that it needs to be a regular vehicle. I mean, we need to create some sort of hashtag like Save the Dune or something like that, because it is an unbelievably cool vehicle that just happened to become a Pegasus car, and because of it, it's just stuck in limbo, like I said. Now, if Rockstar had made it like fit 4 or 6 people, then that's a whole different story. If they had made it armored or something, that's a whole different story. Or they had made it available in the stunt races, that would have been something totally different. But at the end of the day, they didn't. So I say that's the hashtag we use, Save the Dune. Maybe Rockstar will see it. Maybe they'll run across this video and see that, this is a movement. This is a trend that we want to happen. If that's something you would like to see added into the game or fixed, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below. And also, if you agree with me, be sure to leave a like rating on the video as well. I'm having a lot of fun with these cars so far, and I think I'm going to have one more video coming out later today, which should be pretty fun. So stay tuned for that. But of course, with out of the way, guys, like I said, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.